Happy Sunday, everybody. This is Lemon Girl Fresh here, welcoming you to episode 3 of amazing, vegan, fun, delightful cooking. Episode 3 is here. This episode is dedicated to a special couple who is getting married today, Byron and Nicole. Yes, so excited for you guys. And this episode is for you because at the wedding rehearsal dinner that we had last night, we had this dish. Specifically, the ricotta cheese in this dish. And I know for a fact that it was something that everybody enjoyed. So for this episode, I'm going to share with you how to make a soy-free, nut-free ricotta cheese. Yes, it's not a cheese, but it's a filling that you can put in some delicious, delicious Italian meals that will give you that creamy, rich, bold flavor that you enjoy when you have your lasagna or your stuffed shells or your baked ziti, anything like that. We're going to learn how to make something for us vegans too. So here, my secret is the northern white bean. The northern white bean is very smooth inside. Now these were canned, so you have to rinse them really well to just get all of the other stuff out. Make sure you have naked white northern beans. They're delicious. They're called Great Northern beans, but there's also the cannellini beans, but I've tried it with those, and the cannellini is a little bit more coarse, more choppy, not as smooth as the Great Northern beans. So this is a cup, basically a can of beans that I'm pouring in here, okay? So we're pouring these in all the way up to here. I have my fresh garlic that's peeled. You can either buy this or peel it yourself. And I usually put like 5 big cloves, maybe 6. This really makes a very strong flavor that you would get from your ricotta cheese or anything Italian that you would put in. I like to quarter an onion and put maybe 1/4 of an onion plus just a few stragglers here just to make sure it's good. So that's going to be there. And if you'd like, just to give your Nutribullet some assistance, you can break this up a little bit so that your Nutribullet is not having to work as hard. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is we'll put in our lemon juice. And guess what, everyone? I have a lemon squeezer. Okay, this is, I guess you call this a lime squeezer, but lemon, lime, potato, potato. So what makes it easier for me, because you know limes and lemons are different, I quarter my lemon, I put it on top here, close it over, and then just squeeze sideways so that all that juice comes out. And I do a full lemon, okay, because this is Lemon Girl Fresh and I use lemon in everything. Make sure it's sideways. This is really getting your workout for hands. If you want to relieve some stress, it's great. So we got 2 more here. Of course, we're only doing this for effect, but going forward, if we ever have lemon juice, we're already going to have it prepared. It just saves time. Okay. And one more. These are really juicy lemons. Okay. So that's there. All right. Very good. We got a little piece in here we got to get rid of. Not trying to put zest in here. That'll take our ricotta cheese to a completely different level. Now, as you know, I love my dry herb blend. So this has onion and garlic herb Mrs. Dash. It has a tablespoon of the smoked paprika. I love smoked because, again, it gives that cheese flavor, a very smoked, bold flavor. I have a tablespoon of cumin and a tablespoon of granulated garlic, all blended together with a teaspoon of salt, sea salt, Himalayan salt, either one. And you just pour this in. I'm not going to pour all of it, okay? Just enough to really get the flavors going, bring those out. And then lastly, I have to go with the fresh herbs, okay? So here I have a parsley and basil blend, okay? If you run into issues with finding these, you can again go to Kroger. If you live in I guess a metropolitan area, look for an international market as well, because those have fresh herbs for very, very cheap, very cheap. So we won't put this much. I think I overdid it as I was talking, but we'll put enough in there because we do not want our cheese to be green or brown. So this is enough. As you can see the ratio here, that's what we're dealing with. It's really nice, but most of it is all white, okay? And then we have to put in the happy sauce, which is the olive oil. Now, this is we'll stick with 1/4 of a cup here. So we have 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. And we'll try 1/8 of a cup of water. Just 1/8. Okay, and we'll see how we go. Now, if we have to add more water to this, we will, just to get things mixed. But then I'll tell you how to deal with the water content, because we already have a lot of water with the onion, with the beans and everything. I mean, a lot of this is strictly water-based. There's lots of water in there. But what we do at the end is we cook everything off so that all we get is the actual solid of the substance, which is the ricotta. So I'm putting this in here nice and tight, and we're just going to blend this together really well. So there's this. We have our skillet going. I don't think we're going to need this. A nice white flavor. I mean, looks really good. Really creamy. Let's give it a taste. Okay. So I have 2 spoons here. That is delicious. Okay. So at this point, let's say that you have a certain taste bud for something and you want to make sure that it tastes the way you want. Well, here, this is how I like it tasting, but you can also add a little bit more salt if you would like. You know, again, I'm not heavy on salt, but if you need that rich, salty flavor, you can add a little bit more if you would like. But this is done. So all you do is you whip this out here, and it's really creamy. But let's say that you want it even creamier. What you could do is just let it sit for just 30 seconds, put this back on, and then again, run it through the Nutribullet, and it would get even creamier. I do this with my tzatziki sauce for Mediterranean Lebanese dishes, and you'll see me do that later on in this season. So as I told you, you know, there's water content in here. So what we're going to do is get this going, and we're going to cook this off at about 400. Okay, so this is gone. Probably turn it down to 350, I'm sorry. Okay, this is where you might get a little emotional, because between the garlic and the onions, all those aromatic flavors start to come out, and all this that's coming up is going right into your eyes there. So just be careful of that. Now, usually I would have a smaller skillet here so that I could pick the pan up and pour. Really nice flavor. Just letting the water cook off. Okay. So this is the ricotta cheese that was used, okay? And now you would actually taste it to make sure it's thick, and that is delicious. Okay. So as this is getting caked up here, we're going to get our bowl together. Clear out some of these veggies. Okay, so let's turn this off. We're good to go. Okay, so at this point, questions you would have is, well, what else can I add with this? Well, you could saute some spinach. Saute this in, blend it in as well. You could saute thinly sliced and small sliced portobello mushrooms if you'd like. You could do sun-dried tomato. Anything you would like, you can add into your ricotta to really bolden up whatever filling you have. And then mix it in if you'd like. But this is our cheese. So I'm going to move this off to the side. There's my bowl here. This is off. We're done with that. dump this in. Okay. Again, I would use a really small bowl for this so that I'm not having to deal with the awkwardness of that. So yeah, at this point you could add whatever you want to it, but there is your ricotta cheese. Okay, and I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. Nice flavor. You can fill this in, and it's great to go inside of your lasagna and your stuffed shells. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Now, we're not done because I have a treat for you to show you a finished product of a dish that I made. So here we go. Excuse me. Okay, so here's another dish. Here's a dish that I was referring to that you could make. These are stuffed shells. Okay, so here, I've been sitting in the oven for a little bit, but there they are. Now you could put anything you'd like in here, but I'll kind of give you a taste of what this looks like. So here's one of my shells. Nice, beautiful shell here. And we'll make this next time. But here, I put spinach and mushrooms inside. Okay? So I'll open this up for you so you can see it. But here's my shell. Okay? Very, very bold flavors inside. Delicious. Okay? So again, why would I put mushrooms in this? Well, if you saute portobello really well, with lots of garlic, onion, lime juice, thyme, basil herbs, you will get a very tender, meaty flavor. Portobello mushrooms are used on the grill a lot, especially during cookouts and things like that. Mushrooms are used in fajitas, lots of different things. And I've seen lots of mushrooms used in Italian dishes. So it comes out really well. Now this is not something you eat all the time because, again, there's a pasta content in here. So there's that extra carb with the bread. If you want to change up your pasta shell that you use, you could look for your whole wheat pasta. You could look for a chickpea pasta if it's out there. They have chickpea penne, but they might actually have a chickpea jumbo shell for you to stuff shells with, or a manicotti shell. So those are things you can look for, and I can let you know this when we do the actual stuffed shell recipe. It's so good. So at the party, I didn't even tell anybody that this did not have cheese in it, because you don't want to throw people off guard and make them already defensive of what you're eating. As long as it doesn't have nuts or anything in it, you just say, yeah, this is a stuffed shell dish. Because the question is this going to be receptive to other people? Are other people going to actually want to eat this? Well, there are lots of people from all walks of life at this party yesterday. A lot of them, you know, they ate meat, and that's great. They enjoyed it. When they had this dish, they just stood over the dish and continued eating, coming back for more, wanting more, wanting to know what it was. When I asked them, hey, if you like it, they're like, yeah, this is amazing. I said, it doesn't even have dairy in it. And you know what I heard? Some of the guys were like, oh, that's great. I'm lactose intolerant, so that's even better for me. So you don't know who you're going to help when you make dishes like this, but your goal is just to enjoy cooking. Okay, don't worry about proving anyone wrong or anything like that. Just enjoy experimenting in your kitchen. Some people call it an office or a chemistry lab, but this stuffed shell was something that really just hits home inside when you eat it. It's just so comforting and so rich with flavors and bold that you just can't stop eating them, but we have to at some point. So I hope you learned a lot from this episode. I know I kind of talked a little bit more about what to do and like how to encourage other people to eat it and how it was received at the party. But I hope this gives you some ideas as to what to do with your Italian dishes so that when you do decide to make your lasagna or your stuffed shell or your baked ziti or anything like that, you don't feel like you're missing out because you didn't get the ricotta or the mozzarella or provolone that you usually get for your Italian dishes. So this is episode 3 of Lemon Girl Fresh, letting you know that if you have any requests for me, I will gladly take them and try to share those with you all that next episode. But remember to live vegan, healthy, and strong. Have a wonderful week. Bye.